So how is it possible for two people to start at the exact same place in life and 10 years later end up in completely different financial universes? One is doing great, the other is, well, they're drowning. And this isn't a story about bad luck or someone being irresponsible. Nope, this is a story about how the system is designed. And we're going to break down exactly how it works, one seemingly normal decision at a time.
Okay, so just picture this. 10 years out of college, we have woman A. She's got almost 50 grand in investments, she owns her car, no payments, life is pretty good. And then you have woman B. She's staring down almost $10,000 in credit card debt and is just constantly, completely stressed about money. The crazy part? Same degree, same first job, same starting salary. So what on earth happened? That right there is the big question we're tackling. How do these two identical paths end up so far apart? We're going to follow the journey of woman B, let's call her Maya, and we're going to break down the financial levels she passed through one by one that led her into this spiral. All right, level 1, the car loan. Now, Maya starts out in a fantastic position. She's 23, she's got a good job, and her take-home pay is $3,100 a month. After she pays her rent, she has $1,900 left over, $1,900. And key point, she has zero debt. On paper, she's doing everything right. And then, of course, life happens. Her old car finally gives up. So she does what pretty much all of us would do. She finances a newer, more reliable car. The monthly payment? It seems totally fine, totally manageable. But here's the hidden trap. Over the 5 years of that loan, she's going to pay nearly $6,000 in pure interest. That's money that just vanishes into thin air. And just look what this one single decision does to her budget. Before the car, she had that comfy $1,900 cushion. But after you add up the car payment, the insurance, the gas, the real cost of the car, that number gets slashed down to just over $1,000. Her financial breathing room, it just got cut almost in half, just like that. Okay, on to level 2, the student loans. So about 6 months into her new job, Maya gets that email. You know the one. The subject line says something cheerful like, "Welcome to repayment." It's supposed to sound like a party, but really, it feels like a warning shot. And listen, let's be really clear here. Having student loans doesn't mean you made a mistake. It means you followed the exact instructions society gave you when you were 17. For Maya, it's a $34,000 bill that's going to cost her $386 every single month. And get this, the standard plan says 10 years. But the reality for most people, it's more like 20 years. And bam, her budget gets squeezed again. Now you add rent, the car, and the student loan, and what's left over each month is just $635. This is the point where the small sacrifices begin. She cancels her gym membership. She starts packing a lunch every day. She's not really struggling, not yet. But that little calculator in her head has officially been turned on. Which, of course, brings us to level 3, the credit cards. This level gets unlocked by the one thing her super tight budget has no room for, an emergency. Her reliable new car needs a repair, it's going to be $740, and she just flat out doesn't have it. So she does the only thing she really can. She puts it on a credit card. And this, my friends, is where the math gets absolutely brutal. See, she makes her minimum payment of $64, which feels responsible. But of that $64, 54 of it is just feeding the interest. Only $10 is actually paying down what she owes. At that rate, it will take her 14 years and an extra $4,800 to pay off that one car repair. It's just wild. And that financial strain, it becomes this constant weight on her mind. I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? She's out with her friends trying to have fun, but she's secretly doing math in her head, figuring out what she can afford. The debt is no longer just some numbers on a statement. It's the filter through which she sees everything. Okay, let's fast forward. We're at level 4, the mortgage. Maya's 29, she's worked hard, she gets a nice raise up to $58,000 a year. And now everyone, her parents, her friends, all the articles online is telling her the exact same thing. You have to stop throwing money away on rent. You need to build equity. So she does it. She buys a house. Now the mortgage broker focuses on that nice, clean principal and interest payment, about $1,800. But what they don't exactly shout from the rooftops is all the other stuff. When you pile on property taxes, insurance, a little something for maintenance, and private mortgage insurance, the real monthly cost is almost $2,800. And this This is the moment it all goes off the rails. You take her new, higher paycheck, and you subtract her new, much higher housing costs, plus all her other debt, and Maya is now negative $667 every single month. Let me say that again. She is officially spending more than she earns just to keep the lights on. The ship is sinking.
And that leads us to the final boss level of this game. Level 5, the floor drops out. On paper, her situation is somehow working. She's juggling credit cards, moving money around, but there is absolutely zero margin for error. And as we all know, life is full of errors.
The water heater breaks. A medical bill shows up out of nowhere. Her hours get cut at work. It doesn't matter what it is. The house of cards just collapses. And this quote from people who've been through bankruptcy, it's just devastating. For them, the moment the collection calls finally stop is the first moment of peace in years. That tells you everything about the kind of soul-crushing stress the system creates. So you have to ask yourself, was Maya just bad with money, or is something else going on? Well, let's zoom out. Look at this chart. Since 1990, the median income has gone up, but the cost of absolute necessities, like a place to live or healthcare, have just skyrocketed. They've grown way, way faster. Debt isn't a character flaw. It's the product being sold to us to fill that massive, ever-widening gap. But what if there was another way? Let's hit the rewind button. Let's go all the way back to level 1, to that very first decision Maya made when she was 23, the car. What if, instead of financing that nearly $30,000 car, an alternate Maya had just bought a simple, reliable $9,000 car with cash? Okay, brace yourself, because the result is genuinely mind-blowing. By simply not having that $499 car payment, this alternate Maya was able to invest that money every month instead. By the time she's 55, that one single boring decision has grown into over $800,000. That number, that's not just interest Maya paid to the bank. That's the compounding, life-changing wealth that the debt literally stole from her future. So look, Maya's story is a tough one, but it's not just a cautionary tale. It's a map. It shows you the rules of the game. And once you can see the structure, you can start asking different questions and get different results. Let's talk about how. So imagine you're at the dealership. The salesperson is your new best friend, and they're laser focused on one thing, that totally affordable $499 monthly payment. They keep asking, can you afford the payment? But is that really the right question? No, the right question isn't, can I afford the payment? The right question is, what's the real price tag for this car after all 60 payments? And an even more powerful question is, what could this monthly payment turn into if I invested it instead? The whole system is designed to make you forget about that opportunity cost.
All right, one last scenario. The mortgage broker calls, and they're so excited. Good news, you've been approved for $310,000. It feels incredible, right? It feels like you just won, like you've been given permission to finally get your dream home. So what's the right question to ask here? It's not, what's the absolute max I can get? It's, what can I actually afford and still be able to sleep at night if something goes wrong? Because real wealth isn't the size of your house or the shininess of your car. Real wealth is the gap between what you earn and what you owe. It's financial breathing room. And building that gap, that might just be the most important thing you ever do with your money.